Dex 5-Minute MDM Webinar series. I'm joined with my co-host, Mike Ficca.
Good evening, everyone.
Timing. They'll get it. Mike and I are very proud to announce that we are advancing our system to new heights. If you're here tonight we're going to do a special, this is a sort of an impromptu, we're going to be making it very short. I'm going to invite some of you to ask questions. I'm going to invite some of you to answer some questions. But we're going to go into a little bit different of a shift of mentality here. As some of you know, we worked very hard on our programs. We worked very hard in our systems, and we have created some really powerful networks. Right? We have Dex. Let's just use Dex as the prefix here. We have Dex Trader, right? We have Dex Signals. We have Dex Indicators. Okay, and we have Dex Effects. Now, Dex Effects is a new system that's coming out that is more about news relations with Forex and commodity trading, how the effect of trading affects you, that kind of stuff. So it's a little play on words, but all these systems each have their own little program, right? Because we know Dex Trader has the data processing center, it has a little bit of Dex Signals, it has a web-based charting platform in there that's getting better and better and better. It has a 5-minute MDM system, those kind of things. Signals is the basic base system, right? So what we've decided to do is that we're going to be holding certain webinars at certain times. Some of you need webinars throughout the day and the replays to you constantly, which is good because you can join these and see them unfold as they go and be able to get the deals and the other things that are in there. So we're going to be focusing on some sales videos, some sales webinars, right? That's going to sort of isolate the people that need the answers, because sometimes if you're looking for answers to something and you come to a training webinar, you're going to be bored to tears because you don't know all the jargon and all the things we're talking about. So we're going to isolate some of our sales webinars. Secondly, we're going to isolate our training webinars as well. And these where previous customers or current customers can go and learn about specific, very detailed webinars that are about a specific product and not just a hodgepodge. You don't know what you're going to get when you show up. Okay, so if you're a Dex Trader member, you'll be able to go to a webinar maybe just about the data processing center or the MDM WB, the 5-minute system that we have that's web-based on Dex Trader. If you're Dex Signals, you can learn just about maybe the SR Max and its own SR Max webinar. So we're talking a lot of webinars, right? I can't be at them all, but I do have certain training packs that I put together that Mike and I will be putting together to be able to train you specifically on those things. Not just training systems, but also we're going to be inviting the general public the general public in to witness these as well and help them learn as well. Because remember, we're here to help as many people as possible reach their idea of success. Why are we doing this? Because we're noticing a drop in our own availability to be able to do more for people, and it's hard to be consistent. Mike, is it hard when you're training a lot of people, when you're talking to people over and over again, sometimes you forget what they don't know, right?
Yes.
And have you run into that? I mean, you've been doing a lot of consults. Are you getting a lot of the redundancy? You know, the questions that you're like, I wish they'd know this already.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times it's just that they just don't watch the video.
Right.
You know, I need to do this or I need to do that, or it's the same thing over and over again, but there's a video already out for it.
And I think sometimes what that comes back to is sometimes we get ad blindness, we get learning blindness even, right? That sometimes it could be, like I talked to one individual today that was, you know, I said, go to the indicator page. He goes, okay. He goes to the indicator page. He sees the little indicator box information. I said, now go to the training down the bottom. He went all the way down to the bottom of the page and he didn't see the big training box there. I said, the big gray box. And he said, I don't see, it doesn't say training. And I had to really set it out for him. And he goes, oh yeah, no, that is training, isn't it? Sometimes when people are using different websites, they don't realize what's classified as training and what it looks like. He goes, I just thought that was a list of things. And some people, they don't read, because on the internet nowadays, we've been driven by Facebook and the scroll, and everything goes by lightning fast. And unless it pops out and smacks you in the head, you're not going to pick it up. So that's why we're going to be putting, email drips to your email about, different trainings that are going to be happening. You're going to get fundamental information from us. When you contact customer support, you might get links to special trainings to go to that they're going to offer to ask you to go to. Like if you're asking questions about, let's just say, installing MetaTrader 4, there's going to be a MetaTrader Mayhem webinar that's going to teach you how to troubleshoot MetaTrader from the start, from installation to, it's about a half hour, 45-minute webinar that is set into chunks at certain things that you can click on to go learn more during that webinar, right? And at any one time, you can say, okay, I've got what I needed, and you can go on. The webinar is going to keep playing for everybody else, but you can go on and get other answers and other things and join other things and go practice, right? There's those kind of things. So we're very excited about the webinar series that we're going to be putting together. In the second part of this whole thing tonight, I wanted to be able to address anybody who's in the room right now. Is anybody in the room here brand new that hasn't started with us, that hasn't paid money to be in the system yet, and came here tonight to learn about the 5-minute? We have Corey Miller, who's new. Anybody else brand new? Just type in the word new in the bottom there, who hasn't bought in yet. For those that are, William F., welcome. For those of you that are brand new that haven't bought in yet, we're a company that started about 2 years ago, a little bit more than that, with building our marketing firm. We had a marketing firm, and we got hurt in this industry. As we all know, this industry sucks. It is temperamental, it is rip-off, it is scam, it is everything you could possibly think worse in an industry this industry has done. And we can all relate to that. Okay, we all have seen it, heard it, been it, feel it, and sometimes we've gotten beat up so bad you feel like you don't want to come back from it, right? But here you are. For some reason, you're here now. And I'm speaking to the brand new people that haven't bought in yet. If there is a system that you want to be involved in, a couple of the things that you're looking for need to be known. What are a couple of the things that you're looking for, either Corey Miller, if you want to answer, or William, if you could, or I'll speculate, of course. What are a couple of things you're looking for in a company? Honesty, that's a big one. Listen, William F., that covers a huge gambit, right? If a company is honest and is going to give you a straight answer or be transparent, then you can kind of feel that, it's something that's their system's going to be honest and transparent, right? Okay, so that's a big one. So we're talking we're talking honesty here, and that's a huge one, because that will cover just about everything else. Corey Miller says, I want a platform or a program to actually perform as it's advertised. Great. Now, that's also another one, right? And that kind of plays into the honesty side of it. Can a company perform it to what it's speculated, right? Now, in trying to find something, Corey, that's actually performed as it's advertised, in advertising, there's so many games and so many spins anybody can put on anything. So there's not really any one thing out there that I can isolate, except these like robots and these trade it for you kind of people. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Okay, but the idea of, with our daily signals, have a 96% success rate, right? 96% and above success rate, 95.7. There's, I think, it's the lowest on the dailies. But in the design on how to get there is that you have to put working orders, and it fill. It has about a 30% fill rate, right? So you don't fill as many. And then the interdays, what are they at? And the SR maxes. So overall, there's no true program that's going to operate at any level as advertised, unless one thing happens: the individual starts to use it like it's intended. Okay, the idea of what somebody thinks that they're going to get when they get here and what they actually receive is really still up to them. And in our industry, and this is where the transparency comes in, William and Corey, is that I look to tell people the absolute case scenarios where you have to do something to make it work. And this is the tough part to hear. You might be looking for a program that does it all for you, but there's no such thing that exists. And that's where the rubber meets the road. You're going to have to work. And that's what a lot of companies are afraid to tell you. They think they're going to scare you away. And you know what? If I were you and I heard that, if I was looking for something that was like nice and simple and easy and just give me my signal and I don't want to have to do anything else but push a button on Nadex and make me my money, then this isn't the place for you. And I have no worries of telling you that. I don't mind being transparent and losing you as a customer. I would rather be transparent with you and lose you as a customer than sort of string you along and gain you as a customer for a short period of time, and this isn't what you wanted. Okay? So I hope that kind of sets in the stone what type of company we are. The kind of companies that I look for are one, and William, you hit it right on the head, is honesty, right? And I think, Mike, you ran into this issue with a lot of companies out there that, you know, they couldn't give you straight answers, you couldn't talk to them, you couldn't really even get them on the phone. No, you know, you couldn't talk to owners, you couldn't, you know, do that stuff. I want communication. What about you, Mike? What are you looking for?
Absolutely. That's exactly why I came to this company. I mean, customer service, communication.
Right.
Can I get help when I need it?
Right.
This was it. You know, as
And I think
opposed
these
to
are the
everything
things.
overseas is shysters and crooks.
Absolutely. And the hard process when Mike first, now Mike started as somebody who had little to no experience trading, but had a lot of exposure to the trading market, because you got to think of it as almost like dog years, right? When you're getting ripped off, you get experience like 7 times the normal rate, right? Because
Yeah, right.
you get a lot of what not to do. And when you lose a lot of money, you get a lot of you beat yourself up a lot. And so you begin to ask yourself these questions. You're looking for something. You're almost looking for the failure in it before you look for the success. And this is where a lot of people make their mistake. They come in, they think that, oh, I'm just going to push a button. I'm going to make some indicator trades, and it's going to, you know, I'll do a little homework and I'll do a little stuff. I already know the market. I already know this and I already know that, and I can make it work. And I'm going to make my $1,000,000. I'm sorry. I had a customer today on the phone with me, said, you know, I'm gonna bring on some big time investors and I'm gonna work this program out. I'm really gonna work it as long as it does what you say. Now I'm gonna start with $250 and I'm gonna make $1,000,000. And okay,
I'm sorry.
you know, I don't think I can help you. He goes, well, your system can make a lot of money, can it? I was like, no, you can make a lot of money. My system, if it just sits there, is just gonna sit there. You have to use it still. It's like that car drives really fast, right? Now stand outside of it and tell it to drive fast. It won't, right? I mean, okay, so there's remote control stuff, but you still got to do that. You still have to drive the car. You still got to make it happen. And this is where, I mean, a tremendous amount of people get lost. See, trading is complicated to those that make it complicated. And for those that are looking for distrust and honesty, or honesty and trust in a company, you can find it if you listen to some companies. And if you ignore 90, like she said, or 98% of them, yeah, you're gonna see scams out there. Right? There are some companies that are mixed in between. And I won't say scams, but I will say that have a air of complication for a reason, right? And I won't be naming names who I feel make it overly complicated, but I will tell you one company out there that is a company that does BTG, but Sean Jansen, those guys, they have a way of trading and doing things that traders that like that do well, right? But the average person that goes there may not get the jargon of the process, even though there's a tremendous amount of training, there's a lot of stuff that's happened, they may still not be able to get some of it. So I get a lot of members that come to us from those systems because they're overly complicated for some people. Just like our programs may not be for those that want the push button, okay? That their system may not be for the ones that want to make it a little bit easier, right? And it doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't make you, you know, not being able to make money. It has a high, like Brad says, it has a higher level of difficulty, and it starts you out at that level, right? So you had to really get up there to get to that level to learn. And if you don't know where to go and learn or how to build, what we do here is we strip back all the nonsense, all the bullshit first, and break you in like they do at boot camp. They strip you of all that thought that you had growing up, right? All those bad habits, and they try to mold you into a way that needs to be done. Here, it takes work. I don't care if you're in indicators, traders, signals, or what have you. It takes work. If you're not prepared to do the work, then you won't be successful. Plain and simple. All right. So we got some of that out of the way. You know, we're a company that believes in transparency. Any company says we're an honest company. You know, I'm not going to tout being honest because it holds no weight. Whether or not we are or not, it will be in the actions of what we do with you. Okay. It can only be honest if you see the honesty and the transparency that we do, the things that we talk about as being honest. But anybody can call anybody a scam or do anything at that point, and I really don't care. What I do know is that for me and my family and my friends and my partners, I tell them all that we tell the customers the truth. We let it be. We let the chips fall where they may, and if you stay, then great. If not, then oh well. Okay, that's the way we do it here. And if you can handle that, you're going to do well. If you can't, then we part as friends and say thank you, and off we go. Okay. So from this point, anybody who's brand new, if you're looking to buy into a company like this, and again, you're buying into the company. You're not just getting a membership, by the way. You're becoming investors into a company that's building on itself. And if you want to be a part of that, everybody that has like senior to their name or elite by their name, these are people that have worked hard to get to those levels. Mike got to a level of being a partner, so he's raised himself up to that point. There's other people that are partners, Amy Kuipers, Brian Farrow, they're owners, but partners are those that come here and work their way up to those processes. So if you're looking for something like that, then you're in the right spot. If you still there, Mike? Looks like Mike had to leave and come back in again. Mike's having some problems with his mic too, I guess. No, you're not there. Okay, which one are I? Okay, there you go. I'll try to get Mike in again. And might be why we're changing our system a little bit. Let me see, there you go. There we go. All right, you made a presenter. For those of you that are brand new, we're all good. Okay, so you're in Chrome now. For those of you that are brand new and you want to buy into the program, depending on what you're here for tonight, the MDM system is $97 for your first month. It jumps to $297 after your first month, only because there's so much that you're going to learn up in that first month, and then you can get into ROI. You can start working those processes. But remember, just like anything, there's the earnings and risk disclaimer. I beat you to it, Brad Beckham. Educational, trade consulting, and of course, all results may vary. You can pause the video and watch this after the fact, but you've got to be ready to, if you're going to lose money, if you're going to be doing these things, we can't guarantee your success can be as well as Mike is or anybody else's, but I can guarantee you one thing: you're going to learn how to work it. You're going to learn to become part of that process, and this is from earlier. So we don't take this too long. I'm only going to take this to the half-hour mark, but I want to ask anybody who's in the system right now, who's here right now, who's trading MDMs, who's working the 5-minute system, at any level that you are. Does anybody in here normally you have like a pre-questions and answers and a post-questions and answers, but tonight we're only going to do this because there's a lot of stuff being built and done. Does anybody have any questions about the 5-minute MDM system, either new or old? It doesn't matter. Please come out now and ask your question. And I'm going to talk for a few minutes here. The network that we're building on the 5-minute MDM system, whether it be in indicators and or the WB, the web-based, there is a few things that we're coming out with. Dex indicators, okay, for the Dex MDM system has a new SR support and resistance indicator. And this is going to be coming out. I'm going to be finishing up the last little detail. I was going to release it last week, but I pulled back just a little bit because I wanted to check a couple of small errors that were coming up that were out there when I was trying to get it put onto the web-based version of the indicator. I noticed a couple of written errors in there, so I wanted to go in and fix those. I fixed those early this morning and it's been running ever since. Very, very good. So I want to get in and get some training done on it to show you how to use it and all that stuff. But before I put it out there, so there wasn't a million and one questions on it. So this support and resistance part, and I won't give it a look tonight because my screen share thing's not really working out so well. That's why also we're changing the process. But the support and resistance indicator is a lot lighter than the one that we're using right now that I developed, right? Because that one has a lot of other things. Yeah, it's a lot of gremlins going on tonight, right? Everybody's systems are having problems. So this is coming out for the Dex indicator on MDM for Dex indicators. On Dex Trader, there is a version of it showing up that will show up here. I think it's by tomorrow morning. We're going to be finished with the last little security. We have the MACD happening down here. We got, of course, signals happening up here. But then again, up here, there's going to be what we call the support and resistance levels are going to be on here with some Fibonacci lines. We're also going to have some other processes that help us gain better price action on these, and I'll be teaching you those methods in different webinars. Different webinars within the system, specifically designed by the Dex MDMs. So you won't show up and hear a sales webinar in those. You'll be showing up to listen to how that system unfolds and what you need to do to work with it. You'll be able to ask questions, but you may not get responses in that particular webinar. You might have to pose that question, and then we'll be answering it in an email response, because those have to be short and sweet and to the point and be finished. There might be moderators in the room that we might be asking some senior level traders to take their turn in the bucket, if you will, to answer questions on those 5-minute systems for those that are using them and getting them. There is compensation for those things, but it comes in the form of product and other things that we do as well, and points within your senior level and elite level grades. Okay. All right. So at this time, does anybody else have any other questions? Francisco says, nope, Mike Ficken took care of them in your consult today. That's great. All right, perfect. In tonight's webinar, in the final little phase here, I want to let you all know that the network itself, the company, our City Investments, OCI, LLC, is presenting a few things in a line of investments, okay? We are a company that is a builder of systems and programs and marketing systems and those kind of things. So we're going to be offering a very elite package to be in the internal core of this system. It's going to be in some investments that we're going to be doing. Now, this isn't your everyday, oh, we're going to take your money and invest it in the stock market or any of that kind of stuff, right? These are going to be things that we're going to train you, okay, in the middle of this core here. We're going to be training you how to use the systems we have already, and also learn how, because you're learning how to make money. You're at these different levels. You're senior level 2s, you're at senior levels, you're at those higher levels that we've been teaching you at. And then once you start to go live and you're making your money, and we have lots of them that are doing it, we're going to bring you into this part because we need to build some other marketing systems and programs. I'm not talking a couple $1,000 programs that might give us a 1 or 2% yield. I'm talking $20,000 or $30,000 systems like our marketing network, okay, that goes out to 350 websites. Buy into those to get 20-30% return, which could be $750,000 to $1 million a month. And so these type of investments that we'll be doing have a low buy-in with a high yield, but it takes time to build these things. So these things are all going to be coming to play. And this core, I'm not sure what we're going to call it yet, but we're going to be only offering it to senior levels and senior level 2s in the process. And I just wanted you to know, you're going to hear these things out there as far as some of our customers and our members in here now, but I don't want you to feel obligated to buy into these programs and these things. So if you hear about them, they're for these higher end members, and you're going to get invites to come and talk to us, and we're going to be in special webinars where there'll be live webinars And I'll be meeting with a lot of you from this point on, either in consult. If you're senior level 2, I'll be meeting with you. If you're brand new or if you're doing those things, you might be meeting with one of the other senior level traders or elite traders to be able to talk through and get all your questions answered. But I'm going to be meeting with some of you, the Dex Core, right? I like that, Brad. That's cool. So we might getting you to this Dex Core part to where you'll have, my attention and being able to help you even further, because I have to make sure my time is of the utmost focused on those that are here to build the company and build the network. And you can get to those points. Okay, you can easily get to those points with hard work. If you're watching after the fact, I want to thank all of you for being here, of course. And if you're watching after the fact, thanks for getting to this part. It's a very short webinar tonight, but I wanted you to all know just a little bit of what was happening. I also wanted to make sure that those of you that have been invited to tonight for a series, Amy, if you have a discount code or anything, but for the first month, if you're coming on board, you can use the code that I think if Amy has one, I'm not sure if she does for tonight. But in the future, we'll always have a code. It'll appear in the actual webinar on the sales webinar, so we'll be very excited about that process. Everything's a learning experience. Everything is about building. And it's because of you folks that are in the room and because of the people that support us behind the scenes, like Mike and Paul, Davey, that you don't see in the room tonight, but other people that are in the room, even she and many other people, Brad Beckham, of course, who's getting higher and higher on that list. He's chasing Mike down for his position. I'm only kidding, not for his position, but to get to the level that he's getting to. But there we go. Dex or save Dex 50 for all the platforms for its 5-minute. For the 5-minute that is that you already set at 97 for your first month. So so there's no coupon for the Dex MDM system, but for all the other systems, if you're unsure, head over to Dex Save 50, right? If you're unsure, head over to Dex Signals and get the free system there, and it'll train you a lot of the stuff that's there. In the future, there's going to be webinars on what type of trader you are, and it'll help you decide which way to go. So we're very excited about that. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Thanks a lot, Mike. I'm sorry that your stuff got all kind of creepified. So did mine there for a minute. If you guys have any problems, any issues, remember there's a ton of information on the website, and there's a ton of availability for you guys to get in the chat rooms and ask for help and whatever you need. All right, I'm Max Farrell, and this is Dex, and we'll see you all soon.